You attract what you are, not what you want. It's a principle that goes deeper than just relationships. It's about energy, identity, and the silent messages you send into the world. In the context of attracting a quality man, it means that your outer results will always mirror your inner beliefs and self-worth. You can hope, wish, and pray for a good man, but if deep down you don't believe you're worthy of one, you'll continue to entertain people who reflect that hidden belief. This is why a lot of women get stuck in a cycle of attracting emotionally unavailable men, inconsistent men, or men who just want to play games. It's not that all men are that way. It's that you may be operating from a place of fear, doubt, or desperation, and that energy draws in people who feed off it. If you believe love is hard, you'll attract people who make it hard. If you believe all men leave, you'll subconsciously tolerate men who aren't fully present. The world meets you at the level you meet yourself. A quality man isn't just looking for a pretty face. He's looking for a woman who is grounded, self-assured, emotionally mature, and walking in purpose. If you want to attract someone who communicates well, respects boundaries, and shows up consistently, you must first become someone who lives by those same values. You have to embody the love you're seeking. That means doing the healing work, building your self-respect, and living a full life whether someone is beside you or not. Your energy speaks louder than your words. If you're operating from a mindset of lack, scarcity, or I need a man to complete me, then you'll attract people who take more than they give. But if you walk in confidence, wholeness, and peace, you'll naturally repel anything less than that. You won't have to chase, convince, or overextend. The right people will be drawn to the light you carry. The key isn't to keep searching harder, it's to align deeper with who you really are. When you know your value, you don't settle. When you believe you deserve better, you stop accepting average. And when you become what you want, you naturally attract it. Every time. Standards filter out the wrong men. It's not about having a long list of unrealistic expectations. It's about knowing what you will and will not tolerate and sticking to it. When you have clear, non-negotiable standards, you naturally eliminate the men who are only in it for convenience, control, or entertainment. A man who is not serious, not respectful, or not emotionally mature will disqualify himself the moment he realizes you won't play his game. That's the power of standards. They don't push the right man away, they protect you from the wrong ones. Too many women are afraid to set standards because they think they'll scare men off. But here's the truth. The only men who run from standards are the ones who never intended to meet them in the first place. A man who has good intentions, real character, and long-term vision will see your standards as a guide, not a threat. He'll step up, not step out. That's because quality men are looking for substance, not submission to chaos. They want a woman who respects herself, knows her worth, and isn't afraid to walk away if something doesn't align. When you don't have standards, you end up accepting breadcrumbs with effort on intention, affection without commitment, presence without effort. You start confusing temporary chemistry with long-term compatibility. And before you know it, you're stuck in situations that drain you emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. But when you're clear about what you require, consistency, honesty, respect, emotional safety, you save yourself from heartbreak before it begins. You create a filter that protects your peace and preserves your time. Setting standards doesn't mean being cold, difficult, or high maintenance. It means being clear, intentional, and secure. It means knowing that love shouldn't require you to shrink, chase, or compromise your core values. The right man won't see your standards as pressure. He'll see them as direction. And the wrong man, he'll ghost, withdraw, or get angry. Let him. That's your standard doing its job. That's your protection showing up. Every time you enforce a boundary, you reinforce your worth. And every time a man walks away because of it, he simply proved he wasn't meant to stay. That's not rejection. That's clarity. Stop chasing, start choosing. That shift in mindset changes everything when it comes to dating and relationships. Chasing is rooted in fear. Fear of being alone. Fear of missing out. Fear that this man might be your last chance at love. But when you chase, you put yourself in a position of emotional imbalance. You become the one doing the calling, the texting, the hoping, the waiting. You start molding yourself to fit someone else's availability instead of standing in your truth and choosing who's actually worthy of your time and energy. Chasing gives your power away. It says, I need you to choose me so I can feel valuable. But when you start choosing, you reclaim that power. You begin to ask better questions. Does this man align with my values? Does he respect my time? Does he communicate with honesty? Choosing means you're not impressed by charm alone. You're looking for consistency, integrity, and effort. You're no longer flattered by breadcrumbs. You want the whole loaf, and you're willing to wait for it. Many women have been conditioned to believe they have to do the most just to be noticed, that they have to prove their worth to be loved. But real love doesn't require you to audition. The man who's right for you will already see your light. You don't have to shine it in his eyes. When you chase, you put a man on a pedestal he hasn't earned. But when you choose, you see him clearly for who he is, not for who you want him to be. Choosing is intentional. It means you're observing how someone treats you, not just how they talk to you. It means you're not afraid to walk away from potential that comes with confusion. You'd rather have peace alone than chaos with company. You don't just fall for whoever gives you attention. You decide who gets access to your life. And that decision is everything. When you stop chasing and start choosing, you start attracting men who are also intentional. Men who lead with clarity, not games. Men who recognize your value and respond with effort. You no longer have to beg, wonder, or wait, because the one meant for you, he'll never need to be chased. He'll already know he wants to stay. Focus on wholeness, not validation. The moment you start seeking your worth in someone else's approval, you hand over your identity. Validation is temporary. It fades when the compliments stop or when the attention shifts. Wholeness, on the other hand, is rooted within. It means knowing who you are, embracing your flaws, and standing tall in your truth, with or without a relationship. When you're whole, you're not out here searching for someone to complete you. You've already completed yourself. Anything a partner brings is a bonus, not a necessity for survival. The danger in chasing validation is that it makes you vulnerable to people who know exactly how to use it against you. You start falling for sweet words instead of solid actions. You stay in situations that give you just enough attention to keep you hoping, but never enough commitment to keep you secure. But when you're whole, you're not impressed by superficial gestures. You're looking for depth, stability, and truth. You no longer settle for half love because your soul knows what fullness feels like. A person who is whole doesn't operate from desperation. They operate from discernment. They aren't afraid to walk away from something that doesn't feel right, even if it looks good on the surface. They trust themselves enough to know that peace is better than chaos disguised as romance. They're not constantly questioning their worth based on who texts back or who shows interest. Their confidence isn't dependent on being chosen. It comes from choosing themselves every day. Focusing on wholeness means you heal the wounds that once caused you to accept less. It means you don't need external applause to feel internally secure. You stop dating to be validated and start dating from a place of abundance. You understand that love is meant to complement your life, not become the reason for your existence. You become magnetic, not because you're trying to prove anything, but because your energy is grounded and real. When you operate from wholeness, the relationships you attract reflect that. People can feel when you're complete. You no longer attract those who want to take from you. You attract those who are ready to build with you. And in that kind of love, there is no begging, performing, or pretending, only peace, growth, and real connection. A king recognizes a queen when she stands in her power. That kind of woman doesn't have to chase, beg, or prove anything. Her presence speaks before she opens her mouth. She walks into a room with grace, knowing that her worth isn't up for negotiation. She's not looking for a man to rescue her, fix her, or validate her. She's built her life, nurtured her growth, and earned her confidence through experiences that made her stronger, not bitter. And because of that, a real man, a king, sees her not as a challenge, but as a partner. Standing in your power means you don't dim your light to make someone else feel comfortable. You don't shrink for anyone. You know how to be soft without being weak, assertive without being aggressive, loving without losing yourself. A woman who stands in her power knows that love should feel safe, not stressful. She's not impressed by potential, she's drawn to purpose. And she doesn't wait around hoping someone will change. She moves forward, trusting that what's meant for her will never make her beg. The reason a king is drawn to a queen in her power is simple. They speak the same language. He sees the strength in her boundaries, the beauty in her independence, and the wisdom in her silence. He isn't intimidated by her success or her standards. He's inspired by them. A man who's done the work on himself won't be scared of a powerful woman. He'll be ready to build something lasting with her. He'll bring peace, protection, and partnership because he knows that's what a queen deserves. And that's why standing in your power is so essential. You stop attracting people who want to test you and start attracting those who want to support you. You stop entertaining energy that drains you and start welcoming those who elevate you. You become unshakable, not because life is perfect, but because you know who you are no matter what. A queen doesn't chase love, she attracts it through her confidence, her clarity, and her calm. And when a king sees her, really sees her, he doesn't hesitate. He steps in with intention because he knows a woman like that is rare. And once found, she's never forgotten.